Alright, SpeedGaming, welcome back to Kevnastics versus cemo. We are here with the DPRK race to follow up the RBO race that finished before. DPRK stands for Don't Press Wrong Buttons. Whereas the previous race focused on preparing for Ridley first, this one focuses on preparing for Dragon first. So, the opening is going to be pretty similar. We have these upper Norfair hell runs to gather stuff like Speed Booster and Ice Beam and Grapple Beam and Wave Beam. So, once again, we'll see players decide whether or not to grab that taco tank. This time, if a player decides not to grab that taco tank, they're never coming back for it. The other main thing to look for is they'll be collecting either 2 or probably 3 super packs.
Where are they going to be getting those supers?
So the first super pack is of course going to be early supers. And the reason you want 3 is you're going to be doing a Crystal Flash while fighting Dragon again. And the third one makes it safer. So the second one is going to be Spore Spawn super pack. And if they decide to collect a third, it'll be the Crab Supers in Meridia. The other super pack in Brinstar, the Edacoons one, is locked by power bombs. So unless cemo decides to do a moon dance, we won't be seeing that one in this race. It's possible to do it with just 2 super packs, but then you'd have to open the super door to Dragon and then farm a super off of the Metroids. So you're kind of trading off the minute that it takes to collect the crab supers versus however long it takes you to roll the RNG to farm a super.
Well, while we're getting through Sirius Station here, as a curiosity, where did DPRK come from? There's, any percent beat the game pass can, 100% get all of the items, and then low percent has its own, you can kind of understand where the players were approaching when they said, I'm going to try to do this challenge. I'm going to approach the game from this unique point of view.
Yeah, I think players were just exploring and trying out all the stuff they could do. And they happened to find, oh, well, Dragon could be done first, just like Ridley could be done first, just like Vantoon could be first. So, actually, every boss order is possible.
Yeah, this is actually...
And a funny coincidence, DPRK also happens to be the initials of a certain country.
Yep. Yeah, hence the
I think
casual reference.
With popularity. But also, it's sort of an RBO light, where you have to do the Dragon part of RBO, but then after Fantoon, you're essentially doing KPDR with more energy tanks.
A lot of people would certainly prefer that if possible, but you gotta muscle through that Dragon Fantoon first to get there. Glorious leader percentage. Some of the stuff in this game, I'm sure, they never had an intention of being put in, or he wasn't Mr. Force himself, Mr. Deer Force, who coded the game. Didn't have the idea that, yes, you'll do a Crystal Flash during the spit and you get grabbed by Dragon, and it causes you get these random things. That was never intentional. I just wonder how many tries, how many hours were put in before somebody discovered that, or things like that. These little mobilities that make these very unusual categories possible. It is so interesting to see.
Yeah, I don't know how long it took to find that stuff. There's actually a timeline of discoveries page on the wiki, but I don't have it open at the moment to look up when that was discovered. It's kind of funny
I can
because
peek over there.
Crystal Flash and Shine Spark both use a palette flag, so they use something in Sams's palette to mark whether there's the spark charged.
Mm-hmm.
And so because they both, well, Crystal Flash is using it to say, hey, I'm doing the Crystal Flash animation. And the Shine Spark uses it to have the charged Shine Spark, but because they both use it, if you get interrupted in the middle of the Crystal Flash, you get the other one. It's just weird like that. So, divergence this time, cemo did not go back for the taco tank, but Kev is.
Nice, skip on that. Decapitation animation. So much fun to say. Kev, not just the taco tank side, but with those missiles is the key thing. Locking that easier, BT kill. And you were saying, how many missiles and supers are we going to look for before approaching Dragon? Before getting into that Seatless Meridia?
It'll be 3 super packs, 3 power bomb packs, and either 4, maybe 6 missile packs. How many you actually trip over depends on what the runner feels like. If you pick up less missiles, you're tighter on ammo for shooting out Dragon's turrets.
Right.
But you don't really need the extra missiles for anything. Like in RBO, we wanted 30 missiles to have some leeway for the crystal flashes. But we want to stay below 35, or specifically below 32, to keep Old Torso from using his wave beam attack. In this, we don't have to worry about Gold Torso or more than one Crystal Flash.
Yesterday we got a couple of GT code runs. I'm sorry, just the one, and then the 80% or the 100%.
Okay, cemo is going to do Moon Dance because so cemo is not collecting the Brinstar Reserve, which tells me that cemo is going to do the Moon Dance route. Carefully killing all these enemies. So the way this works is there's actually a slope tile on the right side of these bomb blocks in the ceiling. So cemo goes underneath that slope tile, and because of the slope, you can unmorph, and you get forced down so that you're standing inside this tile. And then you do these moonfalls, and each moonfall stores up a little bit of vertical speed. And so cemo's vertical speed is actually gradually increasing, so that cemo's falling a little bit faster on each one of these moonfalls. Eventually, it's enough to clip through this single block and be on the floor. And then cemo can use that to go back into the shaft room and clip through the floor there to reach the Edakun's E-Tank and the Edakun Super and Power Bomb. So the benefit of this is that cemo will not have to go to the Crab Supers later, and also gets to skip that reserve tank, which is more troublesome to fill up before the hell runs. But as you can see, this Moon Dance takes a little while, and
right. A lot of time being spent on this.
You have to know what you're doing. If you rush your inputs, it's really easy to mess up.
He's storing up all that vertical fall speed. Is there a chance at accidentally spending it or losing it here?
Yes, so like, if you accidentally cause a jump or stand stand up by pressing up instead of forward, then you lose all the stored vertical speed. If a jump occurs, you can see a little dust puff, which has not happened. So cemo is still going strong in this moon dance.
How many moon dances will cemo look to do in order to get enough fall speed?
Not that
Well, it
many.
looks like he's done. But yeah, about that much. And yep.
One last one to go through the floor. You see, Kev has to use normal bombs to go for the Spore Spawn Super. If cemo goes for the Spore Spawn Super, Power Bombs will make it a little bit faster. Of these super missile packs that exist in the game, there's 3 here in Brinstar, there's 3 in Meridia. There's the 2 on Rex Ship, which we can't get before Dragon because we're killing Dragon before Fantoon. There's the 1 in Lower Warfare. There's the 1 in Praeteria. That doesn't feel like it adds up to 10. I must be forgetting something. Well, the point is, these 3 in Brinstar are the easiest to access, and then there's 1 in Mordia that's almost as easy to access. So they're the ones that get chosen. And we also have to pick 3 easiest to access Powerbomb packs. One of those will be the Croc Powerbomb pack. And cemo already got the Edakun's Powerbomb pack. We'll see what cemo chooses for the 3rd one.
Like you were saying, a little bit faster, a little bit easier with that power bomb.
And so cemo also has the option of taking the Hopper Gate E-Tank up above as a safety. It's not strictly necessary, because the 2 tanks that cemo has, plus the 3rd one at high jump, is enough to get through the hell runs. But a 4th one is a nice safety.
I was watching Kev go up Red Tower, and one little thing that he did, the hero shot didn't make it all the way up. So he did the climb, got the shot onto the blocks, and then on the fall did a great mitigation to not have damage boost or anything slow him down. Got down really, really fast, and his climb was done immediately. It's really, really good.
So
cemo.
what you saw,
Ooh, first shot.
So you moonwalk up against the wall so that you're pixel aligned. You do a turnaround in the door so that Samus is just standing on the edge and is still pixel aligned. And then you jump and you turn around before you bonk so that you bonk during the turnaround animation and you keep your upward momentum. And you keep that pixel alignment and you fire a super to open the gate because the super has enough time to accelerate all the way and go through the gate.
His missiles and supers do have an acceleration to their projectile, whereas beams, not so much.
Yeah. The free powerbomb drop that cemo got is... This is an interesting choice. Never considered coming for this powerbomb before.
Huh. Once you pass the hoppers,
just collecting the Croc powerbomb. Oh, but cemo did not collect the Mission Impossible. That's why.
Oh,
so
you're right. You're right.
That one was faster than collecting the Mission Impossible powerbomb that I'm used to collecting.
Right.
So they both have 2 powerbomb packs. Kev has alpha and beta power bombs. Cemo has Atacoons and morph power bombs. Spacer is not strictly necessary. It makes it easier to count the shots when freezing enemies in Meridia.
Mm-hmm. And we did see in the last, with RBO, Kev was good and precise on those freeze counts because he had that double Meridia.
Yep.
And so as a result, he was
Yeah,
much more precise on that. And I think it turned out very, very well for him. And cemo also picking up Spacer here.
Yeah, Spacer is a good pickup just so that you can stand on that overlap with RBO and not have to learn two different shot patterns. Because consistency and knowing exactly what you're doing at each stage plays a huge role in whether you get through quickly. So, Kev planned his energy out to get here with enough to collect ice before doing the rest of Upper Warfare. This will allow Kev to enter Meridia with more energy later on. So this easily makes a 200 energy difference when Kev enters Meridia later. Cemo's opting not to do that, so watch for that difference later. Cemo was actually in a better position for early ice due to having just energy tanks and no reserve tank to juggle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have the reserve tick down open while heated, you're not going to get the full reserve because it ticks even while refilling. But if you go into...
the high jump E-tank will give Cemo a full refill.
Yep.
Whereas with Kev, the high jump tank won't fill up that reserve.
Yeah, I was going to say that you have to go through the pause, and then on top of that, you beat me to the punch in the last part. That E-tank has a full refill, giving that extra bit, but he never triggered the reserve, so...
Yeah, it's very good to not trigger the reserve, because you'd have to refill it for the Cathedral Hell Run if you did. I'll stumble before the door, so...
Nice, clean Rising Tide there.
Yeah, the Cathedral had an extra little stumble that Cemo didn't have last race, but got through first try this time. Notice how Cemo decided to go the low route in Rising Tide instead of the high route.
A little bit of farm for Cemo as well. Kept making way through Cathedral.
Yeah, this farm is also slightly faster if you don't have the reserve, because you don't have as much risk of over-farming, because you can actually see when all of your tanks are full.
Right.
Instead of having to guess based on RNG.
But Kev also threw Rising Tide and did not trigger reserve even still, so... That said, he'll have to burn it now, yeah, in order to get up to that farm.
The better you arm pump on this run down the hill, the more energy you have to get back up to the farm. So you can almost save one farm by doing that, and it's kind of worth it just for the peace of mind. And it saves you a few seconds.
Yeah, in a spot like this, I love that little visual glitch where her little animation stops for a second. But in categories like this, where you're doing these speed hell runs, the arm pumping isn't just saving time, it's saving the resources, it's saving the farm.
Yeah. And you saw how Cemo lost his speed echoes after that visual glitch. So that's what I was talking about last race, where if you're still holding dash and the heat sound effect lines up at the wrong time, you lose your speed echoes. Same
Happened
way
for
Kev did right
cemo.
there.
Yep, and Kev. That's so wild
In
to
the
see.
speed hallway, you don't care. But last
Right.
race, where Seymour was running down the Croc Speedway and had to go through the enemies and the blocks, that's where you care.
Oh, great recovery by cemo there.
Yeah,
cemo did the high jump, didn't quite get over, and then managed to kick off both sides in order to get up. That was a fantastic recovery.
yes. Double chamber is kind of scary in these hell runs. When you're doing that jump up, after you collect speed booster, the height that you get from a jump actually follows this kind of sawtooth, depending on your forward speed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you run like one number of tiles, you'll get a really high jump. But if you run one tile further, your jump will be lower than what it was. So you have to line up in a specific way to have the correct height to make that jump up. So Seymour was just a little bit off and did those extra wall jumps to kick the Fune in the face and recover from that.
Kev looking to just refill just a little bit.
Yeah, it takes
Off of
about
reserves.
70 energy to get from Bubble Mountain to the Nutella refill.
Mm-hmm. And it's close, but Kev had that calculated. Like you said, about that 70.
Yep. You did the hell run enough. You learned the exact amount.
Mm-hmm.
At least I learned the exact amount. Timo doing that wraparound shot again.
Justice for Croc. 2 runs in a row. Poor guy got bullied into acid. Though I guess, in every run he dies when the whole planet explodes anyway, but...
Yeah, at least he has somebody visit him in these runs. Like, a lot of the other runs, nobody visits Croc. He just gets left there all alone.
Could
Things
be
just
how he likes
go
it, though.
wrong, and he has no idea.
Is
Like this time,
Crocomire...
Thomas showed up to say hello before destroying the planet.
Is Crocomire an introvert or an extrovert is not the topic that I was expecting to come to mind for these runs, but here we are.
Samus walks in, and Croc just opens his mouth, says hello, and waves his arm. And Samus shoots him in the mouth. Like, Croc doesn't even do anything until Samus shoots him. He'll just stand there and say hello and wave all day.
Only an introvert would have a pool of lava in their room. He is just chilling.
Maybe Croc hasn't cleaned his room in a while, and that's how the pool of acid just kind of built up.
A super slick mock ball from cemo.
So cemo is actually apparently running on 15 missiles. We'll probably pick up this 4th missile pack at the Croc escape gate. It's less ammo than I expected, but still fine. Oh, Kev also got the slick mock ball.
I love that. Shout out to the runners and their movement that has been so crisp in these races.
Yeah. I dropped the links in the chat so that if you want to follow these runners, you can. I don't know how often they stream. And now I see cemo going to pick up that ice beam that Kev already has. Oh, cemo didn't get the fast entry this time. That's too bad.
No, and you could tell that Seymour was looking for it, then did a hard turnaround to say, nope, I'm not taking a lava bath today. Not even dipping in the toes.
Yeah, lava hurts when you don't have any suit at all. You can usually afford the dip when you have this much energy. And when you do the fast entry, the fast exit like that, it's not too bad. See, cemo is on 254 energy, while Kev is on 403 with the reserve, so really 503. You see, Kev is actually ahead. So everything hinges on getting through this main street quickly.
And he had a great boost coming through. He talked about before where you get that momentum, but then you're slowed because of the water physics. The suitless, that is.
Yeah, so like, water physics drags you slower than the air. So you get a higher jump. cemo had a bit of... Oh wait, no, cemo was doing that on purpose. Okay, that's a slick strat.
Yeah, Kev is technically ahead, but cemo right on the heels.
cemo tried to do that without the crouch again. Got it second time again, this time. So Kev is now paying for not having the third Brinstar super pack by going to collect this crab super, whereas cemo just goes straight through Everest.
And as slick as the climb through Main Street was for both as well, cemo continuing that great movement. All across Everest. Oh, cemo kind of looking to get that super.
Yeah.
Want to get for a little bit.
It was worth 5 seconds, but not worth 20 seconds. Oh, got a super from that Metroid though. So.
They're generous today.
Okay.
Excellent bottom kill by cemo there. There was energy and power bombs and something else dropped. I didn't see what it was, but I don't think it was really anything.
So funny thing, if you actually grapple these Puyos, after the grapple impacts the Puyo, you move forward faster in your midair fall than just the normal spin jump.
Really?
Something about fall speed having a faster forward speed than the spin jump. So they want to fill back up to 15 supers after that botch wound. Particularly cemo, because cemo has less missile packs, and so needs those supers for shooting out Dragon's turrets. Well, has enough missiles to missile the turrets. But every little bit of leeway helps.
Excellent pre-Coliseum climb there. Kev getting through with more than enough. I think he was only there for one little round of farming.
Yeah. Kev got some lucky drops.
And also through that climb, easy peasy.
Cemo once again having a less than perfect Coliseum. Let's see the backup again. See, when you leave the surface of the water, you lose your vertical momentum. So Cemo was trying to do a grapple jump like he did that time. But got robbed the first time by the surface effect of the water.
And that gave Kev, who had a really, really good Coliseum, or time to catch right up. They're getting really neck and neck. We'll have to see going through here.
Kev was damaging down before the fight a bit. Yeah, Cemo just using the missiles on these turrets. So this is another spot where you have to carefully manage the reserve. Whereas the Moondance route that Cemo did doesn't have to manage the reserve. So a few more seconds traded off.
Come on, good patterns. Looking very, very good for Cemo right now.
Got a perfect fight for Cemo. Ideal RNG. Kev had a couple of swoops, turning the tables back the other way.
Swooper, no swooping. Alright, we've got some spit coming over for Kev now. And a perfect grapple into that turret block, so.
Not quite perfect. So Kev actually took a low hit from the first goop. You saw Kev flinch a little bit. Like, when the goop hits Samus in the feet, it'll cause her to flinch, and she'll be falling for a moment, and you won't be able to jump because you're falling and not on the ground. And so that can actually ruin your attempt to kill Dragon. So, the flinch is one of the worst things that can happen to you right there, but Kev recovered from it and got the grapple kill off.
Yeah, it looked like it was close, but the grapple, of course, still landed onto that turret, the open turret spot, channeling that electricity through.
To get a jump off so that you're in the jumping pose, and when you release angle down, you'll go to the Shine Spark wind-up so that Dragon can interrupt the wind-up to convert it to the blue suit.
Right.
You're more concerned with converting your blue suit than you are with killing Dragon at that point.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because if you don't have the blue suit, then escaping the room becomes a lot more interesting.
So with Dragon Dead, this is one of the, you think one of the harder, more complex parts is they're going to be able to grab Plasma now, and then they'll make their way over to Phantoon, and will they get gravity off of that as well?
Yeah, they definitely pick up gravity because having gravity saves you enough time in Lower Norfair, just in terms of needing less resources to do Lower Norfair. It's more than worth it to go pick up gravity suit.
You can get the temperature woes out of the way, lava's not burning you, acid will, but...
Yeah, you're not going to spend much time in acid, so you're not as worried about that.
Lava diving is still scary.
You've got space jump. It'll be easy.
It's true, it's true.
Space jump and gravity. You can actually charge up your beam for a pseudo screw with the charge beam, and then you'll go right through the flames in lava dive. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, that's real nice, yeah. So they've got the best beam combo, or at least the most powerful one.
Yep.
And...
highest damage and highest lag.
And they're going to be picking up gravity. Aside from just the fact that Ridley's a pain, what are the major threats remaining for to the runners for this category, for this route?
Time loss.
All right, so it's just about go fast. I like it.
So you notice they have exactly 6 tanks. Cemo has 6 tanks. Kev has 5 tanks and a reserve. That's enough that it's possible to skip Varia. So they could go for a more risky Mother Brain fight by skipping Varia suit and save the time that it would take to go into the Varia room and collect it. So they could decide to add risk later.
It's also...
Cemo has available is picking up a 7th tank and doing the stand-up glitch.
Do you tell?
So you saw how last race, they both did the stand-up glitch while fighting Mother Brain. Well, Cemo did the stand-up glitch because Kev didn't quite get the Mother Brain fast enough.
And that's reliant on the 70 tanks.
Yeah, that requires 70 tanks. Samus's energy must be at 700 or above when the Rainbow Beam hits. And then after the Rainbow Beam, Samus can stand up and move around. And as long as there's not a second Rainbow Beam to knock Samus onto the floor again, so you have to jump into the air before the baby comes back on screen to do that stand-up glitch. And you can continue dealing damage to Mother Brain during the final animations where the baby's latched on. And you have a much shorter third phase.
Yeah, almost non-existent.
So Cemo has the option of picking up, say, Ridley Energy Tank or Kraid Energy Tank and doing that again. Kev would need to pick up 2 energy tanks in order to do that, which would not quite be worth the time. It only saves like 15 or 20 seconds if done perfectly. But once again, you have that free 2-round Phantoon with the 4 missiles and charged plasma shot.
So the Phantoon fight down for Cemo as they continue to move forward, go to that gravity. They're in need. Next to nothing past that. I do like the just go fast side of it. There's something to be said about the challenge of the RBO Ridley fight, but sometimes you just want to flex that speed skill you've got going on.
That was a really fast attic.
That was a great attic by Cemo. Phantoon also down for Kev, though. Kev is
Yeah,
by
that
no
really
means
shows
fine.
the usefulness of plasma, but really, Emo did most of that with missiles and a couple of supers. And then the space jump cleaned it up, and the plasma was just the finisher at the end.
Yeah, that speedy space was great. Almost got the key at the end as well.
Yeah, and that space jump is actually pretty easy to do if you don't get hit by a spark, because you go over to the right, and when you start running, you don't press dash right off. You start holding left, and then like a third of a second later, you start holding dash, and you'll get what's known as a simple short charge, where you get the speed echoes in a shorter distance than you otherwise would. But the sparks falling down from above like to mess up that strategy. So.
All right, some magic pancakes for Cemo, some bowling for Kev. Despite the differences that we had early on, they're very close to one another. Not, you know, right neck and neck at this moment, but they've been close. And Kev is keeping the pace. Bowling for Kev as an alt man. I could see it.
Yeah, this time Simo opened the door before hopping the elevator, so it's important to watch the explosion hit the door before you actually press down on the elevator. Because if you hit the door transition before the upper door actually opens, then you've just wasted a power bomb and some lag time. You haven't actually opened the door. For those who missed the previous race, it was an RBO race. And this is RBO Light. Alright, we did Dragon first, and then Fantoon. Now we're headed for Ridley. This time we're armed for Bear, so... Plasma is pretty much a suit in its own right when you're fighting bosses. And we've got Gravity Suit, which is pulling double duty by protecting us from heat and reducing damage, so...
Yeah, Plasma is... It's insane just how strong that gets across the entire scope of the game, but it makes sense looking at how it was traditionally not intended to be done or be had until only Ridley and Mother Brain.
Yeah. Cemo is really opening up that gap now.
Cemo's
It
movement
was close
has
to
been...
Meridia, but after Meridia, it's been opening up.
Yeah, the movement... I mean, we've talked about their movement being great, and it is. Both runners are moving super, super well. But Cemo is... Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe. It's like there's a momentum, and they just feel like they've locked into everything going on with the game. Nailing a lot of the really precise movement very, very well and gaining a ton from it. A couple of door bunks here or there, a couple of spots that aren't perfect per se, but doing so well.
So in that pillar setup room, you saw Cemo charging a shot, but didn't have it charged to kill the pirates soon enough. So if you kill the pirates before the power bomb, it saves you a ton of lag. Oh, you see Kevin doing the pseudo screw through the flame?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. You charge up the shot, and the flame won't hurt you.
Yeah, so cemo was going for that lag reduction.
Yeah, but didn't get it off because you need to charge up the shot before laying the power bomb.
Of course, the advantage of space all over the place, but here...
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Kev didn't jump quite high enough to kill both pirates, so only got one of them, but that still makes a big difference in the lag.
But amphitheater feeling a whole lot better when you're able to just space jump through it. Great backup by Kev there. You always want to look to freeze that left pirate. He accidentally killed it. He hit a little too hard. Needed to just give a little tap, didn't quite go through. Good backup on using the right pirate instead for the freeze. Metal pirate's down with ease for cemo.
You notice Cemo didn't even feel like it needed a save before Ridley, because plasma is just that huge of a difference.
Yeah, between gravity,
more energy
so there's
than,
no hell run.
And the KPDR run. So you're not worried at all. Just 20 of these plasma shots and Ridley's dead.
Would you ever look to use the supers that you have?
I personally like to start out with at least 3 of the supers. Cemo's probably saving them for pouring, to have a fast pouring as possible. So, when you're spending supers in Ridley near the end like this, that's a trade-off against time that you will spend taking Torian slow. So you pick one or the other.
Like you were talking about earlier, that option for a 7th tank, cemo is picking that up out of Ridley.
Cemo did not collect the reserve tank because Cemo did Moon Dance instead of collecting the Brinstar reserve tank.
Was able to just get an extra E tank, so 6E instead of 5E and 1R. It's got to feel so good to be able to go through this Ridley fight, though, without worrying about the taking heat damage, just being able to lay in with these charge shots. Great little clip through and damage boost into the speedball. Oh, you love to see that. Cemo getting out of Wasteland like it's nothing.
And also, with Plasma Beam, you can actually hitbox through those pirates. Well, the Key Hunters, if you shoot them just before you're going through, so that they're flashing when you go through, they don't deal damage to you. So you don't have to kill them, you just hit them with a plasma shot at the right time. Kev has plenty of resources and actually skipped the Ridley drops to save a few seconds.
And already has those 6 that we were talking about. The 7th that cemo picked up, very optional. And Kev was saying, nope, I'm good. I don't need to go into that room.
Crouching to be picked up by Ridley is just a sort of player preference on how you feel you can avoid getting hit by a tail.
I believe Rockstar 20 asking that Kev crouched to be picked up by Ridley. Does that help in any way? Is there a reason why? And I've got suspicions, but I'm going to defer to our technical expert for sure.
So, like, when Ridley is dead and just looking to pick you up, his tail moves in weird ways. And so if you crouch, your hitbox is smaller. And so you're hoping that the tail will swing over your head instead of smacking you in the face.
Is there a reason why to crouch instead of go all the way morph ball? I mean, if you can go even smaller, why would you not?
On whether you feel like it. Like, it's not really one of those things where it's easy to describe exactly why. You just sort of go on instinct.
I could see that, yeah.
After you've fought Ridley so many hundreds of times, you have this instinct of what might work this time and what might not.
Kev does Kev things. Very true.
So that's the extra risk that I was talking about earlier. Cemo just skipped the Varia suit. So that means that so like if Cemo had picked up the Varia suit, it'd be a really safe Mother Brain. Now Cemo has to stay above 600 to survive Mother Brain, which should be no problem. It's going to be pretty much the same as a 80% fight where you want to take less than one take of damage just to do your stand-up. But Cemo is going to be in this position where one catch-up hit can end the fight, whereas if Kev collects the Varia suit, he won't have that risk. So.
Of course, they have the health for the rainbow beam as long as they don't get hit, which is a great idea, but...
So, the funny thing is the rainbow beam doesn't check for gravity suit. The rainbow beam checks for Varia suit. So if you have Varia suit, the rainbow beam deals 300. If you don't have Varia, it deals 600.
Kev is going to get that Varia suit. Play things safe.
That's a nice mothball through the bomb blocks.
Yep, just a little stutter at the end. Seemed like a little bonk maybe on the hill as it was coming up in Terminator. But yeah, Cemo's resources are looking good. Health is looking great.
Yeah, resources are same ammo as KPDR, but with an extra super pack. So, on 2015 instead of 2010. The Metroids would have to super scam in order for Cemo to be in trouble.
Certainly not impossible. Unlikely, but not impossible.
Yeah, we've all seen it, where go through Torian and across 4 rooms, the Metroids will drop like 1 or 2 supers, and you're like, dude, why?
Live by the drops and die by the drops sometimes. It can be absolutely insane. Pretty good Metroid 1 room by Cemo. Oh, that was slick. Oh, that Metroid 2 room was incredible. Sniping those shots, not even bothering to group them up. Whoa, that was kind of weird. Metroid 3 otherwise looking good.
Yeah, Metroid 2 and 3 didn't drop any supers, so...
Never say never, right? You got a couple more out of there.
Okay, 2013 is okay, that's enough. Took that hopper hit. That cuts into CMO's margin for Mother Brain.
Kev zooming as well. Got across the top of criteria and right down in G4. Very, very slick. We'll be getting touring shortly.
So cemo uses a missile on that floor ripper there. I wonder if that's for lag.
May have just been an accidental press, but...
No, you don't make accidents during baby skip.
Controllers always work perfectly fine, especially when you really need them to.
You know, cemo got through the baby skip. Got the baby skip, so...
It's true.
Assuming there were no accidents involved there.
It's just one stray missile.
Cemo playing it safe with the Zeb skips and using a strat that gets through the Zebs with no damage taken.
I think cemo also slowed down the missiles a little bit at the end there just to make sure there was no turret scam. Like I said, in those slightly tighter resources.
Better than KPDR, but less missile pack than what Kev has.
Mother Brain serving up all the goodies and now bringing out the ketchup.
No, don't damage down. You don't need to damage down here.
Just the 30, I guess.
That tap was completely unnecessary.
cemo did have a save before.
He still needs a little tap right there.
Right.
Taking the tap before the rainbow beam runs your risk of messing up your stat up by putting you below the 700.
I didn't know that Kev did the counterclockwise baby skip.
Yeah, Kev's a boomer. He does the boomer skip instead of the new Stachio skip.
Unfortunately, did not quite make on that side. We'll be going through and refilling up soon. You just see Samus laying into Mother Brain and the baby comes along. I'm helping, Mom, I'm helping. Yes, dear, that's nice. Mother's busy. Trying to murder the Mother Brain.
Oh, and so one risk of doing this stand-up glitch is the baby detaches and stops moving when Samus hits full energy. So you notice how cemo had to run over to the right side so the baby would not detach on the left side.
Right.
Because if the baby detaches on the left side, the Mother Brain can't shoot it, and you're soft locked. Because Mother Brain only has so much firing arc and can't fire out the back of her head.
And once the baby is detached...
Yeah, once the baby lets go on the left side and stops moving on the left, it's over. Nothing you can do except stand there and press the reset.
So good solid Mother Brain across the board for cemo. Really didn't have any problems in MB2 at all. Kevin in MB2 now as well, laying in with those plasma beams. Getting served up on the onion rings and the meatballs. Have some french fries. Should see some catch. There it is.
One minor detail about that rainbow beam is it doesn't deal damage until Samus hits the wall, and it doesn't stop until it deals 300 damage. So if you're not up against the wall, you lose a frame, or multiple frames, depending on however many frames it takes to push Samus to the wall.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. And with a good, clean escape out, GG's to cemo. Kev will come on up to Mother Brain 3, close it out. This is a good race. Really appreciate both runners. RBO is so difficult. And seeing this DPRK was super interesting. The different routes they were going through, we got to see the moon dance going. Very, very fun match.
Yeah. RBO and DPRK are more approachable than they might look. Like, you don't have to run these hard, fast routes. You can go and pick up more resources. There's another super pack in Meridia that you could go pick up before going into Lower Norfair to have more resources. There's a couple more energy tanks that you could go pick up to have more energy tanks. You could go pick up every missile pack if you want to. So they're approachable if you decide to what you want in your loadout and decide to pick up more. And then you could just sort of pair stuff off as you run it more and gain experience and decide that you don't need.
And then as you continue to improve in various ways, those extra ones that you picked up, maybe you don't pick them up. Start to streamline things, work the route down.
Now that they've both touched the ship, I'll mark them done. Let's get these. I wasn't sure if MM2 was going to mark cemo done or not.
Awesome, and there it is. So again, GG's on both runners. cemo finishing with a race time at 59 and 31 seconds. Kev finishing with a race time of 1:02:29.
Cemo is sitting in the setup room, should be moving up pretty soon.
All right, and we are joined by the winner for this match, this best of 3. Cemo Bimo, happy birthday, by the way. I've been told by many reliable sources that it is your birthday.
No.
But congratulations. And Kev, great for you to join us as well. Congratulations on your PB for the DPRK. Thank you both very, very much for this race.
I think I had a 102 like a year ago or something like that I never recorded, but I still think this was probably a better run. It was close to the 101, but I didn't get baby skipped, so I'm still good. Nice PB there. RBO, I was doing a really good job till Ridley. I got no explanation for that other than it's just sometimes you just can't do it. I mean, I can do that 9 out of 10 times, and just today was just wasn't happening.
Yeah, Ridley was playing with both of you, taking some time out, taking his own special time out of both of your runs.
I mean, I feel bad too, because like I'm a big advocate of like RBO is cool for races. I know, like, especially the first part, getting down to Lower Norfair, but race nerves are one thing, but the run is easy. I shouldn't have had that much trouble. So, Cemo had some trouble there, and I was like, you know what? If I get this, and then I killed Ridley, but I ran out. I got hit with a tail, and I took a body hit before that. If I didn't take that body hit, I might have been able to get grabbed. I just was too far left, and then I kind of lost a little focus there. But I don't know. I have no regrets about it. I mean, that was my best chance at beating Cemo, and had I survived Ridley, it could have been done. But I knew going into both of these that things would have to go wrong for Cemo for me to have a chance of winning. RBO was a better possibility at winning, and this one would have required, like, I knew if we were close in Meridia, I can't compete with Cemo, with any percent style stuff down in Lower Norfair. So I just enjoyed the run and figured I might be able to get a PB because I was doing pretty good. I didn't have any trouble at all. The second run, just some bad RNG on Dragon, but other than that, it was pretty good run.
Yeah, that was a really solid DPRK.
I like the route that Cemo took. Like, I don't moon dance, so I couldn't do that. But at least people got to see like good variety. And Cemo, I feel like you just learned moon dance recently. So is that something fun for this race? Like, I'm not normally used to seeing you do that, but you got a 6 sub-hour North Korea, which is unbelievable.
I had learned moon dance a long time ago, and I did like one run of this before earlier in the week, and I didn't do moon dance, and I went back for the taco tank, and I just did not like going back for the taco tank in this category.
I can do it without, but it leaves you like really short energy on Dragon, and 2+1 in a race if you get bad RNG. Like, I got kind of some bad RNG in RBO, but that's usually how I run it. Just the way the tanks go out, I like getting the E-tank later in the run. In a PB run, I can skip Sloter's refill and count on the energy tank, whereas like 3+1 you can't. So
when I'd go for PB attempts, I definitely left it for later. But like in like a race setting, I kind of just want it to be comfy and not.
No, I get that. That's why I was looking forward to North Korea. I was still pretty comfy. Like, I didn't have any problems in Upper Norfair. I missed the jump and I took a little dip in the acid, so I had to do a little extra farming in Bubble Mountain. If I didn't have to do that extra farming, I would have come out ahead, going with the 2+1. But that's what I'm more comfortable with RBO. With this one, I just like going the protection of getting that extra E-tank because it allows me to get Ice Beam early, which allows me to have more energy going into Meridia, so safer Batoon. And I feel like the route that I do, not doing moon dance, works out really well with the way it routes.
Yeah, I think it works out pretty well. I don't think moon dance is faster. I mean,
there's debatable.
I like it in the race setting because you get more E-tanks. Like, in terms of picking up safeties, I think it's a little better.
I also have trouble with the Wavegate E-tank. Just coming from randomizer stuff without wave beam, so not doing moon dance. Like, even if I did moon dance, that would be that's another hard section where you lose all your time if you can't pick up that super. Or, I mean, that E-tank, you kind of negate the time. I don't know. It's a fun run. I wanted to get some volatility here, and you know, I
Yeah, we
excited.
got that in the RBO one for sure.
Oh my god.
That was pretty volatile for us.
I couldn't I was trying to get pogo manips and I couldn't like jump and turn around and get the manip, and I just kept bodying Ridley, and then I kept like dipping in the acid. I just, for some reason, I was pressing my thumb too hard or something, and I don't know. I usually don't have that trouble, but I mean, of course, I haven't raced since the Hundo tournament last year, so I'm pretty rusty with race. I was definitely more nervous than the casual runs I do, but I'm really happy to be in this tournament. This is kind of like the tournament I've been waiting for, and you know, I get to play some of my favorite categories live in front of people, so I'm really happy to do that, at least against 3 more opponents. Or three more opponents.
Well, it's a pleasure to have all y'all here. You're right. This has been a whole lot of fun to see the different routes going on. This is very unusual for a lot of people. We had a lot of questions coming in. What is this route? You know, why are they doing this? And then it raises further questions. Why does this drop matter? Could they do this versus that? It's so fun and interesting to see. Really looking forward to future matches. So, again, thank you both for the match today. Congratulations once again to CMO, and congrats, Kev, on that PB.
Hey, thank you. I hope somebody else wants to run RBO against me so that I can clean that up.
I bet somebody's already jotting it down.
Yeah, I want another go at that.
All right. Well, Cemo, any last questions, thoughts, comments before we head on out?
GG's. Again to Kev, congrats on the PB. Thank you, Kaizentun and Valerian, for doing the commentary here. I had it up on my phone. I couldn't like listen very carefully, but it seemed like you had a lot of good insight, and and it seemed like they were good races to watch.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun commentating and watching these races. I hope you liked the insights that I provide. I don't really watch other people run very often, but I run these categories myself, and I spend a lot of time thinking about it and planning routes. So I think I have some good insights in why you do certain things.
I was hoping I would get to race you in RBO, Kai. That's my fingers crossed moment. Somehow that happens.
Yeah, we'll have to do an RBO max suitless race some other time, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that Christmas week, just outside of the tournament on our own.
Have to pen that in. But anyways, thank you, Cemo, for the race, and Kai and Valerian, thanks for doing the commentary. It was really an enjoyable race. I wasn't getting mad or frustrated or anything like that. It was more like, haha, this is ridiculous. This is fun. You guys made it enjoyable, and Cemo, it's always a pleasure to race you. So thanks for being available, and I look forward to watching your future matches, and I look forward to watching this back to watch you play.
All right. Yeah, I'll watch it back so I can read the chat better and listen to everything more closely.
All right. Well, thank you once again, and thank you everyone for joining us in chat today. This has been a fantastic time. We have a lot more races coming up, but until then, we will see you next mission.
I'd like to thank MM2 for organizing this and doing the cropping and syncing for us. And I will also see you next mission.
See you next mission.